During an interview with CBS News, Biden's border chief Alejandro Mayorkas lied several times in order to cover up his scheme and failure at the southern border. Not only did Mayorkas deny that the Biden administration is encouraging illegal immigration, but he also stated that the administration has done a great job dealing with the unprecedented level of migration. Now, do you think that he's been doing a good job? Because I don't. Now, I like how Mayorkas admits that there is an unprecedented level of immigration, but then denies that he and Joe Biden are the reason it's happening. Trump had policies in place that were working, and Biden removed them, plain and simple. When people are told they can stay in America while their asylum claim will take 10 years to process, of course people are going to game the system. But instead of taking responsibility, Mayorkas blamed the issue on extraordinary poverty, violence, extreme weather, corruption, and suppression by authoritarian regimes. Now, you know what's funny is that Hillary Clinton is mocking Donald Trump for his hush money trial outcome. Well, Bill Clinton actually had to pay a woman by the name of Paula Jones $850,000 for sexually harassing her. After they trashed Paula Jones' name, went to court, threatened her witnesses, they finally saw the writing on the wall, and so they settled, and then they never appealed the case. The Clintons had to pay $850,000, not for an alleged affair, but for actual sexual harassment to Paula Jones. Any of you that are over the age of 50 will likely remember that, but many of you are younger, and so please go ahead and look that up. I guess the main difference is that the Clintons didn't try to pass this off as legal fees. But oh wait, Hillary Clinton actually did. Did you know that the money that Hillary Clinton used to pay the firm that created the fake Russian document to make Donald Trump look like a Russian spy was actually labeled as legal fees, just like Donald Trump? So why isn't anyone going after Hillary Clinton? That's because there's a D after her name for Democrat. But my guess is by 2025, she might see herself in the court having to deal with this. And that's why they don't want Donald Trump to win. There are literally dozens and dozens of swamp rats in Washington, D.C., hoping and praying that Trump never gets in. No wonder Tucker Carlson is saying that they will likely try to have Donald Trump killed. Also, did you know that Congress has used taxpayer money to pay off 268 sexual harassment claims totaling over $17 million? So there are a bunch of can't keep their hands to themselves horn dogs in Congress that got to use U.S. taxpayer money, your money and my money, to silence their victims and make these crimes go away. This according to a story over on CNN. Absolute insanity. I can't believe that we have to deal with this. All right, now I have some huge updates about Donald Trump, what's going on. He is turning this bad news into some excellent news. But first, a word from today's sponsor. You almost can't search the internet for yourself anymore without finding your private information. Just the other day, a friend of mine found her address, her email address, and her phone number online without her permission. Data brokers are selling your private information to robocallers, spammers, and others that wish to take advantage of you. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's video sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify these data brokers that are exposing your information and help you opt out for free so that your information can be protected. Now, every broker has to opt you out, but they make it almost impossible. Let Aura do it for you. And you get 2 free weeks if you use my link down below. Also, Aura does so much more to protect you and your family from online threats. It's easy to set up, and it gives you things like parental control, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft protection, and more. You get all of that in one app for one affordable price. Don't let these scumbags online exploit you and profit off of your information. Go to aura.com/Stephen right now to get a 2-week free trial. That's right, a 2-week free trial for being in my community. I'll make sure to leave a link down below. All right, now, in regards to the hush money trial, Donald Trump has been found guilty of 34 felony counts. Trump predicted this unfortunate outcome the day before when he claimed that even Mother Teresa couldn't beat these charges. Now, remember, this crime was originally a misdemeanor, which should not have gone to trial, and it had also surpassed the statute of limitations. However, they needed to get Donald Trump. The crime was brought up as a felony due to the accused intent of interfering with a presidential election. Now, in order for Trump to have been found guilty, all 12 jurors had to rule against him. While news reports originally claimed that one juror was sympathetic to Trump, that clearly was not the case. In response to the loss, conservative news host Tucker Carlson stated, "Import the third world, become the third world. This is what we just saw. This won't stop Trump. He'll win the election if he's not killed first. But it does mark the end of the fairest justice system in the world. Anyone who defends this verdict is a danger to you and your family." Now, I'd like to know from you in the comments, do you think that they are going to go after Donald Trump's life? I mean, he's already saying, if they jail me, I will continue to run for president. And there is nothing, according to many legal scholars, that blocks him from running as long as the Republican Party gives him the official nominee, which they're going to do. Now, let me know in the comments, please. Now, Trump's friend and our ally over in the country of Hungary, President Viktor Orban, said, "I've known President Donald Trump to be a man of honor. As president, he always put America first. He commanded respect around the world and used this respect to build peace. Let the people make their verdict this November. Keep on fighting, Mr. President." Very kind words. Now, even though there has been a conviction, attorney Jonathan Turley claimed that this case will likely be appealed due to the many reversible errors made by the prosecution during trial. Jonathan Turley stated, "I don't think that this could make it through an appeal before the election. There was a huge disadvantage in this system of having the defense go first. For most of us who don't practice here, it's almost unthinkable because it means the defense can't respond to some of these really sweeping statements. In my view, improper statements being made by the prosecutor. So it looks like Trump could end up in jail if he doesn't win in November, and they may try to jail him as early as July. However, the decision to appeal will probably take a long time, and so they're going to have to start putting into a plan B on how to move forward. But you know that a case is bad when CNN's senior legal analyst describes how the Trump conviction was a political hit job. Yes, the top legal analyst for CNN, Constant Negative News. Number one, the judge donated money in plain violation of a rule prohibiting New York judges from making political donations to a pro-Biden, anti-Trump political operation. That's number one. Alvin Bragg boasted on the campaign trail in an overwhelmingly Democrat county, "It is a fact that I have sued Trump over 100 times. 3, most importantly, the DA's charges against Trump push the outer boundaries of the law and due process. 4, the charges against Trump are obscure and nearly entirely unprecedented. In fact, no state prosecutor in New York or Wyoming or anywhere has ever charged federal election laws as a direct or predicate state crime against anyone for anything. None, ever." Again, this is CNN's top legal guy. 5, the DA inflated misdemeanors past the statute of limitation and electroshocked them back to life by alleging the falsification of business records was committed with intent to commit another crime. The crime? We don't know. They never officially said. 6, Inexcusably, the DA refused to specify what those unlawful means actually were. The judge declined to force them to pony up until right before closing argument. So much for the constitutional obligation to provide notice to the defendant of the accusations against him in advance of a trial. In fact, you're supposed to ask the person, do you understand what you're on trial for? That was not done. Number 7, in these key respects, the charges against Trump aren't just unusual, they're bespoke, seemingly crafted individually for the former president and nobody else. 8, the Manhattan DA's employees reportedly have called this the zombie case because of various legal infirmities, including its bizarre charging mechanism. But it's better characterized as the Frankenstein case, cobbled together with ill-fitting parts into an ugly, awkward, but more or less functioning contraption that just might ultimately turn on its creator. Now, this guy at CNN just laid out 8 truths on why this was a bad case. It was totally bunk. They're going to have this thing reversed on appeal, but it probably won't happen before the election, and that's what they want. The other thing that they absolutely wanted is they want to be able to call Donald Trump a felon. Felon candidate, Donald Trump. Felon presidential hopeful, Donald Trump. They do the same thing with RFK Jr., vaccine denier, anti-vaccine RFK Jr. So this whole thing is about labeling people. But guess what? We see past labels and we know what's going on. Now, of course, Donald Trump would turn this bad into good. Donald Trump raised $39 million in less than 20 hours. That's $1 million for each fake felony charge. And my wife, Casey, is the one that pointed that out to me. Like, wow, 39 charges, $39 million. Thanks, babe. Now, this is a small battle that Trump has lost, but I believe that it's going to open the door for the win, and that's what we really want. Now, once Trump gets back in, do you think he and his attorney general need to finally go after these crooks in D.C. for all the laws they've broken and the lies that they've told? I do. Type Y if you think that they need to. Just yes, right? Type Y if you think they need to go after them. Now, let me read this from journalist Liz Wheeler while you type Y, or if you don't, you can type N. Hillary Clinton deleted 30,000 emails. Jeffrey Epstein's clients still walk free. Alejandro Mayorkas allowed invasion of the U.S. border. Nancy Pelosi is rich from insider trading. Hunter is a crack addict addicted to hookers. Biden sold access to Chinese commies and also oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to China. Stephen D'Antano staged the Whitmer Fed kidnapping as well as the January 6th Capitol breach. Peter Strzock and Lisa Page weaponized the FBI against Donald Trump. Dr. Fauci lied about gain-of-function research and created COVID-19 virus in a lab. Andrew Cuomo killed 11,000 elderly people in New York. Dr. Fauci is responsible for the death of millions of people around the world. Pfizer and Moderna lied about the safety of the mRNA vaccine. Planned Parenthood sells baby body parts for profits. They're all walking free. So why is Trump going to jail? So do you want, from that list, do you want Trump and the next attorney general to go after them? I do. Not because of revenge, but because these people have broken the law. They have lied. People have died because of them. National security has been risked because of them. And they have completely undermined trust in the government and the intelligence agencies. We cannot live like this. All right, now over in Gaza, the humanitarian pier that broke and then sank and washed ashore, the U.S. Army is repairing that, and it should be back up and running. Now, gratefully, they've been able to get about 1,000 metric tons of supplies into the people of Palestine, and some of those are reaching the people. To give you an idea, that is 40 shipping containers back to back. That's how much 1,000 metric tons of supplies are. I hope that this ends. Again, I've been very clear. I believe Israel has the right to defend itself. I also don't like the way they're going about it because I don't want to see dead Palestinian women and children. But Hamas has screwed this whole thing up. They put their people in front of them. They've risked their lives. They steal the supplies that the UN and the United States are sending in. It's just all around a really bad idea. Now, while everybody was distracted with the Donald Trump court ruling, President Biden has decided to allow Zelensky and Ukraine to use U.S.-provided money and weapons to attack Russia, as France and Poland make the first move. Following the decision, Polish defense minister stated, "We decided to help Ukraine in the conflict. Ukraine was brutally attacked, so it has the right to defend itself as it deems appropriate." Now, if I had to guess, the United States likely pressured a European NATO partner to make the first move so that the United States could come in. Now, I would like to know from you in the comments, do you want your children and grandchildren fighting for Zelensky? Do you want your children and grandchildren fighting for what we now know, it's been proven, Ukraine, the most corrupt country in Europe? I don't. I think this war is a travesty. It is a humanitarian crisis, and it could be ended very quickly, but they don't want to end it, not because of Putin, but because of the hundreds of billions of dollars that are being money laundered back to politicians and their corporate donors. It's disgusting to me, and I hope that this war ends soon. All right, now remember lawyer Mike Davis, Trump's favorite lawyer that I interviewed just a couple days ago? Well, he wrote, if you are a Republican that wants us to respect the process or be principled about the Trump outcome, then you need to F off and leave the party. You are against us. Wow, this guy is bold, and he is exactly who Donald Trump needs at his side to use the law appropriately to go after the true criminals. All right, now listen to this. What, imagine if inside trading 200 millionaire Nancy Pelosi had to say, listen to what she had to say about Donald Trump's convictions. Nancy Pelosi said, this moment is a somber one for America. Trial by a jury of peers is a fundamental principle of democracy, which must be respected. This lady is so full of crap. I guarantee you she was popping champagne and eating ice cream with the freezer open while she giggled about Donald Trump going to jail. Now, Joel Pollack from Breitbart News wrote, when Pelosi is tried for insider trading, I want the trial to be before a jury of nice, fair jurisdiction, like in the Texas Panhandle. Now, can you imagine if a bunch of hardworking, God-fearing, Trump-loving conservatives were to do to Nancy Pelosi what she has been doing to Donald Trump? And imagine if they find out that she makes 100 times their annual salary every month doing insider trading. Oh, it would be glorious to watch these people freak out and send her to jail. I mean, you guys, she's worth almost $200 million stealing secrets, using her position for secrets to make her and Paul Pelosi extremely wealthy, grossly wealthy. It is gross. All right, now lastly, Representative Corey Mills of Florida had a great idea. Republican congressman says RNC should nominate Trump on July 4th, our country's independence. He says, what are they so afraid of? Why are they so afraid of Trump? Well, because they know that he can win, and he's going to take back the presidency, and he will change the corruption in the deep state. He knows that the deep police state, just like when they tried to hire 87,000 armed IRS agents, they're trying to increase their power and try to violate our constitutional rights and liberties. He knows that. The rest of the left and the rest of the deep state know he's going to clean house. Republican Representative Corey Mills believes that the RNC should move its convention so that the former president can be nominated on Independence Day. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, that would be so, so amazing. Now, I want to know from you guys, do you think that that is a good idea? Do you think that the RNC should switch their dates to have Donald Trump nominated before he's put in jail and on Independence Day, July 4th, the birth of our nation? I think that that would just be awesome. And I hope that they will listen to Representative Corey Mills. All right, now that's my update. Thank you guys for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out. So thank you guys for doing that. Before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Give that video a like, hit that subscribe button, stay amazing, and I will see you on the next video.